What's up, everybody? Um, you guys may or may not know me. If you do know me from here, what's up? If you guys don't know who I am and you just start watching this, what's up? My name is Shins. More commonly known as on YouTube under the name Cyrax. Um, For those of you that follow me on YouTube that were genuine followers, first off, I do want to say thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank y'all for checking in on me and seeing how I'm doing. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Shins. Like I said, I go by the YouTube name Cyrax. Well, did. And my story begins about 8 months ago where I was trolled. Essentially, I was catfished. And after being catfished, I started getting bullied a lot. And what I mean by a lot, I mean these people were going after my family, going after my friends. At one point, one of the YouTubers that has been bullying me, that goes by the name of William Gloryhole, he had actually caused my biological father to, he had teamed up with another YouTuber by the name of Music Biz Marty, who's another troll. They had basically teamed up to cause my biological father to lose his job, to where he had to find a new one. I actually had a really good paying job myself. I was actually an audio engineer for my former friend and partner Enoch and his small gaming company that he had. I was an audio engineer making $150 a day. I had lost my friendship with my best friend of 10 years, Sean Sands, because of it. And that one hurt me the most. Like, losing my best friend of 10 years definitely hurt me the most. Because Sean had been around since the very, very beginning when I first started YouTube. And it was hard. It definitely was very hard to deal with. But nothing can prepare me for what happened over these past few months. Or these past few weeks. People like William Gloryhole have been harassing me so bad that the police had to get involved. But sadly, nothing got done. These people had gone so far as to hack into my Facebook and my Discord and post private photos and videos between me and my exes to adult websites such as Xvideos, Xhamster, Pornhub, and various other sites like that. And many of you might not know what Kiwi Farms is, but they have made a Kiwi Farms page about me harassing me. And this kind of stuff had escalated from that to just last week. Actually, not even last week, a couple days ago, I got sent a dead baby pig. Still inside the fetus. Still inside the fetal sac. By William Gloryhole and his friends. And to be honest, I got sick. And it was things like these that pushed me to realize that maybe I need to step away from YouTube. And many of you may or may not know, but yesterday I did delete my YouTube channel after making a short live stream saying my goodbyes. Another thing that pushed me to leave, not only was it because I was being bullied and trolled and the proper authorities weren't doing anything, but I wanted to get back to my roots doing music. I wanted to get back to doing what I love to do. The last album I put out was back in 2018, and I had not made an album since then. I had had drafts and ideas, but I never really put one out. And I really wanted to get back to doing stuff like my music, spending time with friends and family. Because I haven't really been able to spend time with my family or my friends as much as I would like to. Another reason, too, and that has to do with my friends and family, is that many of you guys that are probably going to watch this on YouTube, many of you guys probably know my best friend and brother, Jake, that you guys had given the name to him of Hillbilly Jake. If you guys don't know, Jake is my best friend and has been my best friend for 15 years. We practically grew up together. We came up together through high school from freshman year all the way through. He's been my best friend for about 14 to 15, actually going on 16 years now. God, it's been a while. But he's not been doing so good lately. He's been very, very sick and may end up in the hospital on Monday. And that's been really weighing on my mind. I wanted to also take time away to be there for my best friend. Jake to me is more than a friend. He's pretty much my little brother. He's family. And, I want to be there for him. I want to be able to be there for him as much as possible and make sure that whatever this crap is that he's got and that's got him, bedridden, that he gets through this. I got tired of not being able to be around my friends or, my family, because I've always been, putting it off and putting it off. Hey, Angel, Merry Christmas, or April, Merry Christmas. But, I especially, I got tired of being bullied. I got tired of being harassed. And yesterday when I left, I took a very, very long, hard look at, the way YouTube is going. And right now, it is a very, very toxic place. It's not been a fun one to be around. I absolutely don't see how anybody could stay on that platform at this point. But, You know, I especially wanted to get back to doing, stuff that I started doing in the beginning. You know, my artwork that a lot of you guys here on Facebook have loved my artwork over the years. Many of you I've been friends with for a very, very long time. Especially the art crew that I was part of. Some of you guys were part of that group. And shout out to my art crew. I fucking love you guys. You guys know who you are. I fucking love you all. You guys are awesome. Keep up that awesome artwork. I fucking love it. Also, a huge shout out to the Weird Art group. I fucking love you guys. The Weird Art group. You guys are fucking awesome. I love every single one of you guys. I freaking love that crazy artwork you guys do. Absolutely love it. Huge fan of all the artwork I'm seeing. But, I really wanted to get back to doing, what I love to do with my artwork, my music, and just get back to the things that matter most to me. And I know a lot of you guys that are probably going to watch on YouTube may not have gotten the answers that you wanted. And that's understandable. I understand why you guys were calling and asking. But just know that right now I'm not ready to come back. And it may not be coming back for a very, very long time. Because I want to take time to focus on myself, my family, my friends, having a normal life again. And, just doing what I love to do and, building my music back up to where I can actually start making money from it again and actually enjoying my music and actually putting out music that, I want to put out, that I've been wanting to put out for the last several years now. I mean, I've done everything from hip-hop to metalcore to, new metal. I've done, a couple of dubstep albums and stuff like that. But I just really wanted to explore my roots, doing, just basic stuff, experimenting with sounds and, creating weird music that, I know is going to be going down a different path than most genres. It's definitely going to be standing out more than most. It's going to be very, very weird. But it's also going to be a lot of fun and very calming. There's going to be a lot of calming elements in the music that I'm working on. And, I kind of wanted to push that more to kind of show that side of myself and kind of show people, like, not only do I do hip-hop, not only do I do, rap and stuff like that, but I also, can do, classical piano and classical violin work and, soundscape music and adding different elements into that. And I kind of really want to explore that and put out, a few albums that are based around that. And that's something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And, pardon me. And now that I've left YouTube, I feel like, I can finally do that. I can finally explore, that side. And kind of show people, like, hey, not only do I do, these other genres that your typical artist would do, like, everything from Suicide Silence type stuff, Korn style stuff, Disturbed, all that stuff. But, also be able to show people that, yes, I can do, my personal favorite band in the world. And R.I.P. massive rest in peace to their lead vocalist Chester, who was actually one of my heroes. But, music like what Linkin Park does and drawing inspiration from that. And, kind of showing my classical side of people that I grew up listening to, like Beethoven, Bach, people like that I grew up listening to in school, and, adding in elements of violin, and being inspired by one of my personal favorite violinists, Lindsey Sterling, who's been a major impact for, a lot of my violin work inside of a lot of my, instrumental stuff. But, it's just been a lot going on with YouTube that is not fun to deal with, and it's been very, very hard for me to deal with. And at one point, the bullying actually got so bad that, and I thank God for my family and my friends being there when they were, but it had gotten so bad. Like, the bullying and the harassment had gotten so bad over these last few months that twice on one of my bullies' live streams when I was confronting them, I almost took my own life. And it was very difficult because that's how far these people had pushed me. And like I said, I thank God for my family and friends being there for me both times that I was in that position. And, it just saddens me that the authorities won't do anything about people like this. I had actually just found out yesterday that the YouTuber that's been really harassing me the most, William Gloryhole, I had actually found out that a few months prior to me, he had actually caused 5 different people to end their own lives. He had pushed and bullied 5 other individuals, very similar to myself, to end their lives. And it's sad because the authorities won't do anything about this guy. And, when I found that out, my heart just broke for their families. My heart broke in a million different pieces for these people's families. Like, these people had lost their lives because of a bully. And that wasn't fair to them or their families that their lives got cut short due to a bully. And, as sad as it is, there's really nothing that can be done because the authorities aren't taking, these individuals that do this kind of stuff serious. And that's what's so sad is that, the authorities aren't taking these people very seriously when they should be. Like, I can't even begin to, imagine, what their families went through after they had lost these innocent lives to suicide because of people like William Gloryhole and because of William Gloryhole. And it's sad. And looking back on that, like, I'm glad that my friends and my family were there to save my life and to stop me from going through with what I would have done. But that's why I left YouTube, was because of how negative things had gotten. And I can honestly say that things started getting really bad after my good friend and fellow YouTuber, Jamie Nicole, had actually lost her life due to an overdose. And that really hit hard because I had first met Jamie through YouTube, and we had collaborated together on a bunch of different live streams and videos and stuff. And she was like, on live streams she would troll me and stuff, which was fine. But outside of YouTube, she was the sweetest lady ever. Like, she was one of the coolest people you could ever meet in your life. And, you know, after she passed, that's when, you know, a lot of things started going downhill and got progressively worse to where they were at until I left. So, to be honest with you, for those of you that are going to watch this on YouTube and probably are watching this on YouTube, I am sorry to disappoint you that I'm not coming back. To my fans, I'm sorry that I'm not coming back, but I have to do what's best for me. I have to think about my friends and my family. You know, I have to do what's good for my mental health, for my family's well-being. Because being around people like William Glory Hole, Music Biz Marty, and all them, it's not good. It's very toxic. It's very toxic. And I can honestly say I would not wish what happened to me on my worst enemy. I would not wish that on anyone. Period. I would not wish the things I've gone through on anyone. Like, no one deserves that. But everyone that will be watching this on YouTube, I'm sure, for those that did genuinely support me, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done for me. You guys are awesome. Like, and I can't thank you guys enough for, you know, supporting me like you had through all these years. Like, you guys have been there for me through so much, and I can't thank you guys enough. And I do hope that you guys, you know, do continue to follow me into the next chapter of my life as, you know, I start back up doing my artwork again, which I will be posting on here and on my Instagram. I am going to be making a new Instagram strictly for my artwork. I actually have one piece right here that I'll actually show you guys in just a second. You know, so I can also start, you know, focusing on my music again. Like I said, I'm very excited to be doing, you know, my music again. Like, for sure, I'm very excited about that. Because I can actually finally be free from the stuff that I've been dealing with. And it feels good to be, you know, freed from, you know, where I was essentially trapped. For several months, I was trapped. And it feels good to finally be free to that stuff. It really does. Hey, bro, I will message you here in a bit. Hey, Gregory, what's good, buddy? Long time no see, brother. How you been? Yo, Josh, what's up, bro? How you doing, broski? Long time no see, man. How you been? I need to call your ass later on, dude. We definitely need to hang, man. I have not talked to you in a while. It's been a minute, dude. A long minute. But if you guys give me just a moment, I'll be right back. I'm actually gonna go step right over here, right behind the screen here, and I'm gonna, show you guys a few of the art pieces that I've done over the last, I'd say, 8-9 months. So let me go grab those, and I'll be right back. Shout out to Josh, man. What's good, brother? Alright, let me set these right here so I can show y'all. Actually, I just set them right here. No, move right there. First off, you got this little dude. I'm just gonna go through these and kind of briefly show you guys some of the work I've done. I got that little dude right there. This one I definitely had a lot of fun doing. This one I kind of got inspired by watching Tim Burton. Things that, like you've been seeing, dude, things have been very, very weird and very tough. But this piece right here, I can honestly say is probably my most prized one. This one I actually did post up on the Facebook Marketplace and it didn't really go anywhere. But this one actually took me like 2.5 days to do the whole thing. It took 2.5 days to do like just the outline. And then it took like another 2 to like actually go in and do the shading. But I got this really cool stained glass looking piece right there. And this one right here is actually probably one of my more favorite ones. And I got another similar one which didn't take as long, but it is kind of a tile set that you can kind of flip and mix and match however you want panel wise. You can, put them however you want to put them. And this one took me like about a half hour to do. It's just a simple flat sunset type piece. And then I have like 3 versions of this, which is a city skyline. I have like the small one, and then I have this one right here, and then I have an actual bigger one, which I'm going to show y'all in a minute. So let me get to it here. And then I got that right there, which like I said is the largest one out of all of them. It's, your typical city skyline piece. And then I recently came across this thing called drip art, which was super cool. I recently started watching some of that. And I'd say about 4 months ago, I did these two right here. I got that piece right there. And then I got this one right here. And both of these were super fun to do because I didn't know what drip art was until like I actually started looking at it. And I actually had a lot of fun doing these ones. Granted, my table became my desk where I do my music and shit. Thankfully, I had everything put up, but dude, it was a mess to clean up. But like because of like all the paint seeping down off the canvas and onto the desk. But trust me, these were well worth it. And then I also got a couple of darker pieces that people like, which this one was actually largely inspired by a lot of my dark digital artistry that I've done, which is that piece right there is one of my more darker ones. It's got that horror film kind of vibe to it. Definitely very weird, definitely very dark. And then I've got this one right here that's very similar. This one is more or less kind of inspired by the Grudge film. That little boy that meows like a cat. How he kind of gets up close with on the camera. I kind of got something very similar to that. Like these are just a few of, the ones that I've done over the last few months. But like I'm getting back into stuff like that. I also have another larger one that's not finished yet that I am gonna start working on probably this weekend. I'll probably end up working on it this weekend if I'm not doing anything. But yeah. I just wanted to give you guys an update and let y'all know what's going on. For all y'all that are on YouTube, hopefully you guys, understand now why I left. And just how hard things have been for me. Things have definitely not been easy. They've been very, very difficult. And I can honestly say, it does feel good to, finally be freed from, the hellhole of YouTube, so to speak. Like, yesterday I actually slept in for the first time in almost 10 months. Like, I actually had a normal day. Like, I slept from like freaking 10 o'clock at night to like 9 the next morning, woke up, had breakfast with my family, grabbed a cup of coffee, came up here, started working on music for about an hour or so, and then I sat down and I just chilled out, watched some anime, and then gamed out with some of my friends that I haven't gamed out with in like a long, long time. And it feels good. It felt good to actually have a normal life again for once. Like, it felt really good. Because for me, family is definitely, important. Like, for me, family is everything. Which is why I always say in a lot of my songs that have to do with family. That's why I always say the line, family over everything. Because for me, my family is everything. And, without them, especially with going through what I went through, I probably would not be here today if it wasn't for them. So I literally owe them everything. But for those of you that are going to be watching this on YouTube, like I said, I know this is a long, long video. But I do hope that you guys understand now, why I left and why I did what I did. And for all y'all that are gonna try to go through, my friends, don't do it. Just you know, don't be going after my brother Jake. Like, he's very, very sick and doesn't need this stress right now. So I'm asking y'all kindly to please, like, for all y'all trolls on YouTube. Not you guys on Facebook. You guys on Facebook, you're fine. Y'all are cool. But for all the trolls over on YouTube that are gonna try to start shit, I'm asking y'all to please just be respectful and leave them alone. Let the man get better. And then if you want to talk shit, but it's not like it's gonna affect me or him anyway. So, like I said, just please respect the man, you know. Don't go after him or his family, that's all I ask. Just leave him alone. You know, leave his family alone, because they've got enough going on already. But to my best friend Jake, aka my little brother who just happens to be taller than me, you fucking tall ass son of a bitch. I hope you see this, bro. Want you to know that I love you, bub, and shout out to your mom and dad, aka Mama and Papa, aka Mom and Pa. Shout out to your brother Junior. What up, Junior? Fucking love you, you tall fucking tree trunk. But, just want you to know, buddy, that I love you, bro, and I hope you get better, man. I know that you're in a very tough spot right now, but I do hope that you get well soon and get better really, really quickly, for sure. But to everybody on Facebook, I will be live streaming on here a lot more than what I was. Oh, pardon me. But I will be live streaming on here a lot more than what I was before. Like I said, I'm very much looking forward to a new chapter in my life and things getting better, so I love y'all. Don't know what else to say, but I love you guys, and it feels good to be back here on Facebook having fun. Like, it feels good to be back around my people, having a good time, chilling out, relaxing, catching up with people. So y'all can definitely catch me on here a lot more, probably on a daily basis, probably on a weekly basis. I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but just know that you are definitely going to be seeing a lot more posts from me about music, artwork. I'm possibly going to be opening up a shop soon for my artwork and my music. I don't know yet. But it has definitely crossed my mind a few times to actually start a shop back up. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that. But, yeah. Just want to say I love y'all. I wanted to come on and explain, why I left and my reasoning for it and stuff like that. So, yeah. I love you guys. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, especially with this bitch-ass virus, COVID. Bitch-ass virus. Fucking hate this virus, man. It fucking sucks. But hopefully y'all are staying out there and staying safe, staying safe out there. I mean, my bad, got tongue-tied. But hopefully y'all are staying safe out there and, doing what you need to do and taking the precautions that you need to stay safe. And yeah, fucking love y'all, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Josh, April, I'm gonna call y'all up here in a bit. Well, Josh, I'm gonna text you. April, I'm gonna try to reach out to you here in a minute. But as for everybody else, man, I love y'all. And like I always tell all my fans on Facebook, on YouTube, man, I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing I tell them. Stay humble, stay positive, keep being you, and keep being awesome, man. I fucking love y'all, dude. Peace.